Hi everyone, this is Diane. I have a lot of fun things on my table here. We are going to be working on an assortment of pockets today. I don't have anything really planned out. I just have some die cuts prepped and some glassine bags and a few other things, but I haven't done any examples or even figured out how I want to use all of these things. That's what we're going to do today. I have done some cutting of paper, so I'm working on that, getting pages cut. And in that, this journal, the pages need to be about 6.5 inches wide. So I need a 12-inch paper. And I didn't want to just sew 1 inch of paper to the edge. So I sewed the cutoff pieces from, cutting the paper to size. And I took whatever the width of is that, 3 inches. 3 inches to that. So now I can remove 2 inches on one end, and I should have a 12-inch piece of paper. Not 12 inches, 13. I need 13. So let's see. Well, it'll have to be less than 2 because I overlapped for that. So, well, I already marked it. I laid it out and I put a mark on the 13-inch mark. So I'm not going to do all of these. I just wanted to show you how I am extending the length of the pages. Now I have another strip that I can play with. Some of these pages were double-sided. And then fold it. So now I have a nice big accent piece right here. Didn't fold it very straight. Instead of just a little 1-inch strip. Oh, I didn't sew it very well either. Well, I'll fix that later. So now it is 6.5 inches wide. So I've done that to 6 pages that are going to go into this wider journal. I did put the cover together. I touched this while the Mod Podge was still wet. I picked it up so I could measure the length of the spine, and it stuck to my finger here and here. So I'm going to add a pocket there to cover that, and I'm not sure what I'll do there, but I will cover that. But it's all covered with a gingham ribbon on the spine, on the edge of the spine. And I finished putting these covers together. I did the stitching as I said I would, and I ironed the spine piece, and I ironed the edges under, and then just sewed it on, and it was long enough to wrap. Just wrap it over the top and the bottom like that. So I'm happy with how that turned out, and I do have some buttons that are going to be either sewn or glued if I want to sew them. Sorry, I'm trying to reach it and I dropped it. There. If I want to sew them, I'll sew them before I add something to the inside. And I got this one done. So this one was a lot quicker because it had fewer bigger pieces, but I like the way it turned out. The front isn't patchwork, but it's pretty with that doily design on it. So now let's just take a look at what I have prepped here for making pockets. We did this one in a video. So I have those 2 pieces, but I have 3 journals and only 2. So the pockets are just going to be kind of mix and match in the journals. I do have 3 envelopes from the kit. I think there's, oh, yeah, I think there should be another one, but, and then I have these little pockets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 2 of these for each journal. So I think I could put 2 on a page because the pages are kind of big. So I think these would look nice to put 2 on a page. So that would take care of pockets on 1 page. But I want to do something with all of the many, many pieces of ephemera that came with the kit. Just get all these extra pages out of my way. So I have all of this ephemera that came with the digital kit. There's that other pocket or envelope. And in here, I have some of my little die cuts and stamped images, but I have all the die cuts that come with the kit that you can purchase. And Emily sent these to me. So I'd like to use some of these things on these pockets. So let's just take a look. First of all, I have these die cuts, and I was cutting these pockets, and then I realized that they look pretty close to the shape of these, and they work. So I can just apply this here, and I have a pretty pocket. These dies did not come together. Don't think they're even from the same company. I think these corner dies were just a no-name brand from Amazon. So I'm not going to glue it right now because it would be time-consuming to get the glue on all these little areas. But that's the pocket. That's what the pocket's going to be. So I'll use that one there, and I have, let's see, I have some red ones and some pink ones. And I cut out a green and 2 green, 2 red, and 1 dark pink, looks like. Yep. So I could put one of these on a dark pink. That would be pretty. That one doesn't want to poke out very easily. So there's one. I don't want it to look Christmassy. And I suppose if it's on a page, it's in a journal with a lot of red and green for strawberries, then that would not look Christmassy. I don't know if I want more than 3 pockets. I might just want 1 for each journal, like this, I mean. But I'll probably end up decorating them anyway. So I'm going to have to work on getting those little things cut out. I forgot to put my shim on it, so it didn't cut down in there. So those will be some pockets that are entirely made of die cuts. Sorry if I'm going up too far. Yeah, so that'll take care of those pockets. Let's look at, well, let's do these. I have these that you saw earlier that I used. It's just a die that cuts that top shape, and I'll just pick out 3. These 3 different shapes just for variety, even though they're all going in different envelopes. And this is where I want to use some of these pieces. So there are ephemera pieces that are already collaged, like this. Just has a little collage on it. I think it would fit there. And then I could add something to it. Or I could take something that's not already collaged and make my own collage, like this. There are lots of circles in the kit. And these don't all have strawberries on them. They just go with the colors of this kit. This is it's a label for strawberry preserves, making your own. I'm going to look for a scrap of pink or maybe yellow. I have a yellow here. Yeah, that looks good. Here's another one that's got a collage on it. Oh, there's pieces of washi tape too. They're not washi tape, but that's what they're called. They just look like washi tape. I'm not liking that one. How about some of these? Don't forget these little die cuts that Emily sent me. Fresh. I love that little blue chicken. It's a bigger circle. Do I have any more that size? Keep changing my mind. Okay. I think these are good the way they are, so I'm going to glue. Don't like that. I'm just going to glue. They can be this simple. When I design collages, things like that, add decorations to something. I don't like to put things right in the middle, either this horizontally or vertically or horizontally. So the strawberry label is down, so this would be like the halfway point where the top of it is. So I didn't center it here, and I didn't center this over here. I like things to be off center. I think it adds more interest and movement to the design. And I don't normally like to have things floating. So if I put this here, it's not touching anything, and it just looks random. And I think it's okay in some designs, but most of the time I don't like it that way. And I think it's just a personal preference. Now something like this might be okay off on its own, but I'm still not liking it. It just depends on what your reaction is when you see it on your paper. So I don't like anything up there all by itself. So we're just going to leave it like that. Now with this one, I have the banner not touching anything, but that doesn't bother me. And I think because I have this off to the side and this off to the side, that I like the fresh strawberries card in the center. It still creates interest and movement. There are several pieces for your eye to move around and look at. Okay, that is one packet for each journal. I have another die cut pocket, and that is this circular one, and it will have a half circle to form the pocket, and then a card to go inside. Now I want to create some interest on these backgrounds. So I have this stamp that is little flowers that they could look like strawberry flowers. So I'm going to just stamp it on the pocket pieces. And I'm not going to try to, make it look like strawberry flowers with white petals in the yellow center. I could just stamp it in black and then maybe add yellow marker to the center if I decide to. But let's just stamp it. And I will use black. I got this at a flea market or rummage sale or something, and it was glued to this acrylic block, and I didn't realize it was glued. I tried to take it off and it tore, but it never came off the block. You can see cracks in it where I tried to pull it off. So it's a little bit too big for the block, but it just stays there. Okay, I'm not going to do the yellow centers. I don't think I would like it with the pink background. But I can add some decoration. And do I want to decorate the card? I'm thinking no, but I wonder if I have a round journaling stamp. Found some possibilities. Oh yes, how about this one? That would be perfect. And then the back would be just all plain for writing. Either one of those would be good. It's not really a journaling spot. It doesn't have journaling lines, but it would add a decorative element. And then maybe I could add one of the circles inside. Let's try that. That would be a fun pocket. And then I can still tuck in one of the journaling cards. I think I'll use this pink and yellow baker's twine. I'm having a little trouble with the videos today. I had to stop the video because I changed my mind. So about how I wanted to decorate these circles. So I just stopped the video and redid them. I had to recut them. I didn't like the black ink, and I didn't like the flower stamp because it just didn't stamp very well. I tried it with the pink, just flipped it over just to see if I would like it with the pink, and it just doesn't stamp very well. So I recut all of the pockets and the card, or I kept the same card, but I recut the pockets, and I used a plaid background stamp and VersaFine Claire Charming Pink, a nice bright pink to go with the bright card. So I finished these pockets, and I will glue them on probably with a tuck behind them. And then what I didn't get to do on camera was, well, I did. I made a video. I came back to show you these and finish them, and then I did these. And I can't upload that video. There's something, I can't even play it. I can't play it back on my phone, so there's something wrong with that. And I have to hurry because my battery is going to die. My phone is going to die. But I had these large glassine bags and the medium-sized glassine bags. And all I did was add a small doily and one of the collaged ephemera pieces from the kit that I'm using, which is Polka Dot Pixels Berry Gardens. So I glued those two pieces on and added this note sheet inside. So there's that one and that one. And then I have these medium-sized ones that fit a guest check, pink guest check. And again, I just used a doily and the collaged piece. This is just a digital, it's printed like this. And I didn't have another piece, or at least I didn't find it in the right size for these bags. So I just took some pieces and put them together for my own collage. So then we had the glassine bags as a pocket. We have these circles as a pocket. And I did these in the first half of the video. So we have those pockets, and I still have to glue these decorative elements on, but we have these pockets. And then after I shut the camera off, I just took a digital that I had. These were from a different kit that I used last year, but I had some left over. I had shown you these tags before, and so I just added a simple strawberry element to the tags. Very simple. And I had cut these cards and had more elements to add. And then we saw these the other day, those two pockets, and then some magazine pockets. I had done these the other day also, but today I did this big one. I had to cut a little bit off it because it was even bigger than this, and I cut a little bit off the bottom. I glued it to cardstock, cut around it, and it will be a nice big pocket that'll fit a nice large tag. So that's what I did today, all these pocket variations. And I hope that you enjoyed watching. I'm sorry that the video got messed up, but hopefully I can piece things together and everything will be just fine for your viewing. And I will be back hopefully tomorrow with another video. And I'll see you then. Have a creative day. Bye.